Hey friends, Pastor Bill Walden here. This is a devotional for February the 2nd, 2024. Some thoughts for you out of Matthew chapter 22. After Jesus arrived in Jerusalem the last week of his life, he cleared out the temple. He was healing people on the Temple Mount. The religious leaders sought many ways to trap him in his words. They were trying to get the public to go against him, and so they were trying to come up with clever scenarios whereby they thought they might trap him in his words and cause Jesus to incriminate himself and lose public preference. The religious leaders wanted to turn the crowds against Jesus, and so they came to him and they asked him. It says this, Matthew 22, verse 15. The Pharisees went and plotted how they might entangle him, and they sent to him their disciples with the Herodians, and those two groups are usually enemies. And they said, Teacher, we know that you're true and teach the way of God in truth, nor do you care about anyone, for you do not regard the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what do you think? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Now, if Jesus says, no, it's not lawful to pay taxes to Caesar, then he runs the risk of being at odds with the Roman government. Rome was the occupying force there in Israel at the time, and the Jews hated him. If he says yes, pay taxes, then he's possibly going to incur the wrath or the anger or the disapproval of the Jewish populace who they hated Rome. So either he's going to incite the Romans against him, or he's going to incite the Jews against him. And these Herodians and these Pharisees, who normally are not friends, come together and they think they have Jesus trapped. Somehow we're going to damage his reputation. Tell us, therefore, what do you think? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Jesus perceived their wickedness. Jesus knows what's in our hearts. They may have even been pretending to be, serious inquirers. Jesus, we're not sure what to do. You're wise, and we know that you don't play favorites, and you're not intimidated by people, and we really respect you. Could you help us out with this? We don't know if we should pay taxes to Rome or not. But Jesus, it says, perceived their wickedness. And he said, why do you test me, you hypocrites? And the word hypocrite means one who's pretending. They pretended to be sincere, but they weren't. They were pretending to care about his opinion, but they wanted to incriminate him and bring opposition against him. So before even dialoguing with him, he called them on it. He said, show me the tax money. So they brought him a denarius, and he said to them, whose image and inscription is on this? And they said to him, Caesar's. So whatever Roman leader was ruling the kingdom at the time, they would make the coin to bear his image. They would make it in his likeness. We have that in the United States, all over the world. Money has the faces and the likenesses of present rulers or past rulers. And so this denarius, this Roman coin, had the image of Caesar stamped into it. And then he said to them, render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. Well, it looks to me like that belongs to Caesar. His face is on it. This denarius bears his image. So give it back to him. But then he said, and to God the things that are God's. And we read in the book of Genesis that when God created Adam and Eve, he made them in his own image. So the denarius bears the image of Caesar. Give it to Caesar. But dear friends, you and I bear the image of God. So we need to give ourselves to God. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. There was nothing to say. Jesus would not be trapped by them. He saw their hypocrisy. He saw their malevolent intentions. But he gave us a lesson. If you're a follower of Christ, pay your taxes. No government is perfect, and certainly we might be tempted to not pay our taxes because of the imperfections and the wrongdoing of our governments, and yet Jesus said, pay your taxes. But even more importantly, give yourself to God, whose image you bear. We are created in the image of God. If you're not a follower of Jesus, something to consider. You were created in the image of God. There is a likeness that you have to God in that you are a moral being, you have free will, you can make your own decisions, and you understand things that the animal kingdom doesn't understand. Give yourself to God. Give yourself to the Lord. He created you. Whether you know it or not, you bear his image. And so don't hold yourself back from giving yourself to God through Jesus Christ. So hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.